It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Okay, this month is okay. If that's what you want, then so be it. I do. I'm available the 23rd to 26th of August. Hillsborough County marriage license, skip 3-day waiting. This is Christina Lachey. What the F was I planning on marrying and having a baby with? The Lord works in mysterious ways. We started our IVF journey in 2024, and I'm so confused as to how he had an entire relationship with another woman that he was seeing every week, I'm told. Using my flight benefits to see other women weekly is the devil's work. I fully intend to tell it all, because if you thought you was going to play in my face, you were sadly mistaken, Kelsey Sherrod. I know I said we should not be asking each other financial questions, but I want to know if I give you a payback plan, would you be able to help me out? Business has picked up tremendously and I need to get that other truck up and running, which will cost me about $4,500. Is this something you... And she says, how you begging me for money, but you got money to buy this woman lavish gifts and cruises. Meanwhile, you riding on my passes to fly. Is this him with the other girl? And out at the club, she's like 26 years old. He's out here living it up with her. And we'll get her story next. This is when he begging to start over after he tried to leave him in January because his soul wasn't settled. I couldn't understand why, but now I know why. God has a way of showing you who people really are. Thank God you're okay. You're more likely saved. Me too. Surviving Sherrod. Wow. I think it's diabolical that you begging to come see me 4 days after you kicked Sarah B. Living door down, put hands on her, and got hit with a restraining order and arrested. Somebody make it make sense. He begging to come back with her, and she don't even know. He lied and hid behind his phone. All right, let's get to it.
Good morning. I am Christina Lachey. I know, first off, let me just start by saying thank you to everybody for your compassion and your support. I knew I was in danger, but I didn't realize the magnitude of what type of danger I might have been in. So it's unfortunate that Sarah went through what she went through. I don't wish that on anybody, and I thank God that she's safe. I definitely want to give you guys my story. I'm on my way to work right now, so I just wanted to give you just a little bit. So Kelsey Kevin Sherrod and I met in July of 2022 at Essence Music Fest. It's been 2 years. We hit it off right away. I'll tell the story about how we met later, but he appeared to be such a good guy. He did a good deed that day, and I remember that's what really attracted me to him. He seemed like such a sweet guy. So we exchanged numbers, and initially, I was just I told him, I said, let me buy you a drink for doing what you did, and he refused to let me buy him a drink. So he bought me a couple of drinks, and we partied out on Bourbon Street. We had a good time. I thought that it was over at that point, but then he FaceTimed me at like 2 o'clock in the morning just to make sure that we had made it to our hotel safe. So, you know, we kind of hung out a little bit that weekend, and it was amazing. It really was. I felt to myself, you know what, he's a breath of fresh air. And at the time when I met him, I was just going through a lot of different things. You know, I was kind of done with the whole dating aspect. I was just kind of done with it. You know, I wanted to have kids, so I had decided that I was going to go ahead and follow through with doing IVF. But then he came along. So no problem. Everything was perfect. I was seeing him every week. Either I was in Tampa, he was in New York. He came to Memphis to meet my family. I met his mother, met his sister. I've had conversations with his other sister and brother. You know, everything was just perfect. We didn't have any problems. We were talking about building the future. And then I would say about 4 months in, I talked to him about possibly being a part of my IVF journey. I asked him if that was something he was willing to do. And you know what he said? He said, you know what, hell yeah, let's do it. So, you know, we began to embark on that journey. We began to do a series of testing. If you know anything about IVF, it's a long process. But, you know, we started that process and everything was going well. I would say about a year into the relationship, there were quite a few red flags. I noticed how he would get missing. I wasn't really sure what was going on. Just noticed that he would get missing. This is really a piece of who the fuck was I dating? Because I honestly have no clue. So, anywho, about a year into it, things just started getting different. You know, he runs a business. He's not a mortician. He has a mortuary transport service. And what that means is he is the Uber for dead people. So he takes them from the funeral home to the church, or from hospice to the mortuary, whatever that looks like. That's what he does. He does transport by van. He's not a mortician. Nevertheless, I've always supported him and his business. So he says that the business is picking up, and that's why he hasn't really had time for me, and this, that, and third. But then I would notice how you don't have time to spend with me when, you know, I'm available. Because the thing is, my time is very limited. My time can be very limited. But I made time for him. It started to become a case of when I would come to Tampa, all of a sudden he's working all the time. You don't really have time. There were times to where I would come to Tampa and I would spend my whole 30-hour, 35-hour, 40-hour layover with him. You know, we hung out, me, him, and the girls, his daughters, me, him, and his sons. You know, we would hang out or whatever. But then all of a sudden it just kind of came to a screeching halt, maybe about 6 months ago. He was just always busy. And then it was, oh, I have to run and check on my mom. You know, his mom lives in Atlanta, allegedly. So it would be, oh, I have to run and check on my mom. But then when he would go and check on his mom, he would go missing for days. I thought it was strange. But then, you know, I believe in giving people time with their family or whatever. So fast forward, we'll just talk about the most recent incident, and then we'll just go back in time as I post these. So the most recent incident, I was actually out of the country, and I logged on to my benefits account to book my mother a flight because I was having a surgical procedure that he told me he would be available to come to New York and be with me. So no problem. So I said I will get my mom to come. So I go in to book the reservation, and I see a one-way ticket for him from Tampa to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. I'm a little confused because I didn't book that ticket. So
that's diabolical.
Like gate agent, all you need is my employee number, and you can go in and you can book that ticket. So that's what I chalked it up to. But I called him immediately. He wouldn't answer the phone, right? And I want you to know, I was out of the country, so there is a 6-hour time difference. So I'm calling him when I should be asleep, because it's the middle of the day in the States. He's not answering the phone, refuses to answer the phone, but he texts. And that's what he does. He hides behind text messages, and then he'll say that, oh, I'm working. I'm with a family right now. I'm at the funeral home right now. He would say that. And I thought to myself, nah, because this right here says that you're supposed to be on a flight in 1 hour. So I said, no. So I texted him back and I said, it cannot wait. I said, I didn't answer this phone now. I'm canceling all this shit. So then I get a phone call from his phone number, but it was what I consider his flunky, one of his employees, calling. So it's almost like he pulled the middle school prank and made a 3-way call so that it looked like somebody else had his phone. So the flunky says, oh, well, yeah, Kelsey's in a meeting with the funeral director right now. And I said, well, you need to tell him to come out of that meeting right now. And he's like, miss, they're not answering the door. And I said, okay, no problem. Make sure you let him know I'm canceling all this shit. So I turn around and I cancel everything. No problem. He comes texting me 5 minutes later. He's like, I just can't talk right now. I'm working. It's going to have to wait. You know, every excuse. But never a phone call. Got it. What I didn't know is he had went and booked a flight on another airline through my benefit. The problem is, I didn't catch it in time because I didn't think that you could go as far as to steal my passes. You got into my account and stole my passes. And I know that your sister helped you do it because you wouldn't know how to do it. All right, fast forward. So now I see that he's on the flight. I see that he's checked bags. But he's telling me up and down, what are you talking about? Trying to make me look crazy, trying to make me think I'm crazy. He's texting. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm not on no flight. I'm working right now. I want y'all to know I'm looking right at the boarding pass. I'm looking right at the seat assignment that they gave him. I'm looking at the fact that he was marked on board. And I'm looking at the fact that he checked 2 bags. Got it. So I knew right then and there it was another woman that he went to see. And I knew that his sister had been in it the whole time. You see, he and his sister, they have some sort of an emotional, incestuous relationship. If you don't know what that means his sister want to be his woman. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Anyway, so he texted me to let me know that he was home, that he landed. Really? So you're home and you landed from a flight that you swore up and down that you wasn't on. 10-4. So then he says, well, I lied about it because you and my sister don't get along. I said, so your remedy was to lie because I don't want to hear nothing about your sister. I said, at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell y'all about his sister too, but this all started because he has a bad habit of running to his sister and telling her everything that we have an argument about, everything that's going on with us. I'm grown. I'm 44 years old. I don't get down like that. So I told him, I said, let me explain something to you. If you got a problem with me, then you come talk to me. You don't go talk to your sister or your family or your mama or anybody else. But that's exactly what he does. And what he does is he paints this picture of me like I'm the one in the wrong, when really, you've been the monster lying the whole time. Make it make sense. But nevertheless, what I did was I deleted him from my past benefits immediately. I sent that paperwork to HR and had it deleted. So now he big mad because he can't go see his girlfriend in Atlanta, who he's been seeing for the last few months on my dime. This is a lot.
Good morning. I know you are resting, but I wanted you to know that yesterday was a bad day for me. Also, babe, I had been harboring something for a while and didn't realize I was harboring when you mentioned a week ago about the fact that everything and decision you made was based off of us and for this dude sound like a liar already. Betterment of us. You stated that you were and have been able to go and get your 401k and get money for your pregnancy, etc. Things that alarm me is that when Sierra would sit and watch me struggle and claim she was about us, as you did sit and watch me struggle and still watch me struggle to build this business, which would in return be for us and would be something that we would own and have forever. My infinity is not 34,000 in need of getting fixed, but only 6,000. 34,000 for an infinity to get fixed. Well, only 6,000 in my van, which I eventually got fixed after the business lost out for several months, over half a year. So when you say you are all in for us and doing decision for us, I did not see that. I love you, just letting you know how I'm feeling. Talk to you before church love. She says, good morning. I want to take a moment to clarify my perspective and feelings regarding your text. The decision I've made and the acts of kindness I've shown have always been motivated by what I believe was best for the both of us, but even more so to support you. However, it feels like certain boundaries and expectations have become unclear, and I think it's important to address them now. You've made it clear on multiple occasions that certain commitments and actions from your side are contingent upon me becoming your wife. I respect your perspective, but it has been challenging to reconcile that with the fact that I've already extended benefits and responsibilities to you that typically align with a marital relationship. For example, I've made my domestic partner a legal recognition that carries significant weight. And I've treated your children as if they were my own, offering them love and support one would expect in a family setting. These are privileges typically afforded to a spouse, not a boyfriend, yet I extend them because I believe in us. Still, it's unclear that there are discrepancies in how we view our roles and contributions. You've also often reminded me that as things stand, I don't have the benefits or security of being your wife. For example, when you bring up topics like my 401k and suggest that my financial decisions, such as prioritizing my fertility journey, these long text messages, are a misallocation of resources compared to helping you repair your car or van, it feels dismissive of my priorities. This situation is particularly sensitive for me because I've experienced financial vulnerability in the past where I've gave generously to support a relationship only to be left to pick up the pieces alone. And it's about to happen again, sister. That history has shaped my perspective on protecting my financial future, especially as an unmarried woman trying to secure a stable home and a chance to have children. Your suggestion that my being all in involves using my retirement savings to help you feels unfair. It looks the significant steps, especially as an unmarried woman trying to secure a stable home. Your suggestion to retirement first, I've already taken to support you in this relationship despite not having the legal or emotional security of being your wife. These steps for me were big commitments and they came from a place of genuine care and belief in our future. However, your recent correction, dude, why is she typing all this? You should have just called him at this point. Golly. However, your recent correction that we do not have that kind of relationship where decisions should be made for us rather than me was eye-opening. It's clear now that we need to reset expectations and boundaries. Given your frustrations and our differing views on roles and responsibilities, I believe it's best to simplify things. I will withdraw any paperwork or recognition of us as domestic partners from my job so that we return to a dating status as you described our relationship. I guess, why not? This will alleviate any pressures or misconceptions about the duties or roles I should perform. It will also ensure that neither of us feel the strain of unmet expectations that align more with a marriage than with dating. I also want to propose that we still explore therapy together. I think this could help us rebuild on more intentional foundation that we ensure that we are both on the same page moving forward. Starting with professional guidance could help us navigate these complexities and align our expectations in a healthy way. I truly care about you and want us to proceed in a way that fosters understanding and growth for both of us. He said, sad that you did not listen to me at all. He didn't listen to her because that was a long paragraph. She said, I actually heard you loud and clear. It's sad that you didn't actually hear me. Was there no truth in everything you said or everything I said? Let me know if I read it wrong. On Sherrod and Sierra, the wife. More pictures of them together. Alright. Let's be real. You know exactly who I am. It's easy to jump on a bandwagon when you realize he wanted someone else, but let's set the record straight. I witnessed him telling the truth. Let's see here. Who is this from? I will always stand up for myself. Let this be a reminder the truth makes you squirm. I don't know who this is from, but let me see. It don't say who it's from, but I'm guessing it's from him. It's easy to jump on a bandwagon when you realize he wanted someone else, but let's set the record straight. I witnessed him telling you the truth. He was not healed. He was in therapy, and he was not looking for a relationship. You insisted, you pushed. This might be from a mama or somebody. I even heard you say it doesn't take this long to heal, so don't sit here and rewrite history like he was all over you. That's a lie, and you know it. Let's be clear. He divorced his wife but of course, people love a good story, so y'all will twist the narrative however you see fit. I also remember the night you met him in New Orleans trying to sleep with a man you didn't even know, but now you want to play victim. God will deal with you. I mean, she grown. Why not? You know? He was going to sleep with her too. Let's be real. You forced your way into a man's life by adding him to your benefits, buying gifts for him and his daughters, and you added them to your benefits, which he did not have to use because he has a sister whose benefits he's on, so he didn't have to use yours. Oh, that's just the sister. And we have the receipts to prove so, and you tried to push yourself into his family, even went as far as sitting at his gate just to meet his mother when they were on their way to a funeral. That's not love, that's obsession. And yet here you are trying to paint a picture of him that isn't real. He's a man who loves his kids and his business and the Lord. No matter what lies people try to spread, loving God doesn't mean being perfect, and the real ones know that. So let's end the charade. You a fake, a phony, and a control freak. And no matter how hard you twist the truth, it will always come to light. You are completely mad because it was another woman and not you. Truth. It was truth. But truth be told, IF with Sarah be living. It's women like you that always want a pity party and try to impart yourself into a situation that really never had anything to do with you. Alright, let's get to the next one.
A restraining order. Life update. After 2 whole years, I started dating again. Having a man yell and scream at you to the top of his lungs, and he's almost 6 feet tall, is the most scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I ain't put my hand on you.
This story time is also going to come with a free wig at the end, so keep watching. We all know I've been separated from my estranged husband for about 2 years now. I'm a 25-year-old spring chicken. And I know I got hurt in my last relationship, but I was not going to let that stop me from being free and enjoying life until I ran into a man who's abusive. They're out here, and they're abusive, and they're liars, and they're hypersexual, and they're weird, and they're 42 African-American years old. As a woman, I have the right to say, I don't want to date you anymore. I have the right to say, you're abusive. I don't want to be around you anymore. Being independent and being successful is always going to be hard because you're intimidating without even trying to be. You can be as soft as a fucking daffodil and you're still going to be intimidating just because you make more money. But you know who you're not going to be intimidating to? The right man. I'm not the only one that's been through it. Dating is horrendous. I'm not going to lie. I've had the worst experience dating black men. But you know what? I'm not going to let this one black man deter me from dating other black men. I'm not going to let that Asian man deter me from dating other Asian men because you don't define an entire ethnicity of man. You just don't. You're the bottom of the barrel, but you're not going to deter me. You continue to be mad. You can continue to lie and, you know, not be able to regulate your emotions at 42 years old. But that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you and the law. Because I've never had to lie about anything. It's already published. Everybody knows everything about Sarah. Well, most of everything. You can never defame my character to a community of 3 million people who've known me since I was 19. Baby, these are my cousins, my aunts, my brothers and sisters. Sorry. It just won't work. I have the right to break up with you. I have the right to not want to be with you anymore. I have that right. But I've learned that that is a concept that some men will never learn no matter how old they are. And I'm going to continue to turn up, date, and spend the money that I worked so hard getting. The fact that this man opened his mouth and said I scammed him and that I would have had custody of his kids. I'm 25, I barely got custody of me. And to my amazing followers, if you see anything that you know just don't look great, block and report. And with any purchase on BelieveInHair.com, get you a free bob, get a free wig. Use code 40-year-old weirdo for a free wig. Because we don't beef for free. We never did that. That's one thing we never did. We never did that. We never beef for free. Ever.
Alright, so what it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video, back in the confessional, and yes, we staying lit, big dog. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my player partner, Lucky Wizard. Deals your boy keeps it lit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Hit the link down below. We got Moog's Coffee, okay? Moog's Coffee, where you can get your best flavor. Put your best flavor forward, okay? If you want to do single K-cups, or you want to get a large, or you want to get, just a, something for everybody. Okay, we're gonna have those special everyday thing with PJ cups coming real soon. Okay, so we're gonna roll out a few, and they're gonna be limited. So I'm gonna let y'all know when those go for sale. So if you're a supporter of the channel, I want y'all to support that and use the discount code everydaypj at checkout. Let's get into it, big dog. Now, we started this with Christina, and she basically was, telling us about how this man, Sherrod has been living a crazy double life. I gotta go to her page on my phone because, yeah, I don't want to be butchering her name. But there's a lot of Christina Lachey. There's other stuff. There's other videos. I'm gonna show y'all this other one about Christina Lachey. Not Christina Lachey, about this guy.
He need to take his ass to bed.
Sorry.
I ain't want to make nobody cry. He make himself cry. I ain't nothing to it.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. You deserve so much better than what I displayed to you.
I know, so please leave me alone.
You trusted me and I let you down. You believed in me and I let you down, and I'm sorry for that. I promise you I'm sorry. But you make me so happy. You make me so much better.
Get somebody else to do
in the
it.
morning.
Get somebody else to do it. is you crying? Why is you crying?
Big
I'm
tears.
sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
You're 42.
Love you so much.
Can you take it?
So yeah, man. I mean, you know, him crying to her after he just broke her down her door. She got him on mute, of course, and they FaceTime. So and she recording, and he don't even know he about to go viral. You know, listen, man. It's all compromising, and that's the one thing I don't want to be put in a relationship. Like, man, we got to do better at like our age. Like, some things you just can't keep playing with. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep playing in these relationships because it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. It's more videos. I think a lot of these videos been taken down. Like, it's crazy because I be wanting to record, but you know, I just got so much other stuff going on, and then by the time it's time to record, people will be putting their videos hidden and stuff like that, and you be like, damn, it's good. You can get the whole story. It's good to get the whole story, but there's really nothing about this, man. Y'all see how the guy is. He's a dirtbag, man. He just need to grow up, man. And you know, he say he going to therapy and he got too many people that's enabling him to, you know, do whatever he do. But you know, you can't stop a family from riding with his family. Like, you can't expect them to be honest about his situation to you. You know what I'm saying? Their loyalty don't rely to you, it's only to them. Now, in the chance that you become that part of his life, you know, basically what I see about Christina Lachey, is that him and his sister and his mom will be talking about you behind their back. Because what woman does all this good stuff for him and his family, and then they're like, you just did this? Nah, man, when you really invest in somebody, I think that's a good thing, and you shouldn't take advantage of people like that do that. But the fact is, people do, and it's crazy that the women who invest in people like this, the women who do that are with narcissists, and they getting them, they scamming them every time. So when a good man come around and he's like, oh, I need, you know, he got really some business going on or something, but you not willing to work with him because you like, nah, I did this with my last relationship. I ain't. And if the guy shows you different, that might change your mind. But off tops, like, you not even trying to hear it, and that's what we see with this. Like, she's willing to put all this man's business because he got something going on. She willing to invest in him, and he's really just trying to get over on her. He's going to see other women off of her. The fact that he went to go see another woman and he's logging into her account to see all this is crazy to me. Like, why would you think that was a good idea to get why would you think that was a good idea to get a airline ticket under her account as if she couldn't see it? You know, it's like, I mean, it's just dumb. It's absolutely dumb, you know. And then to make excuses of why you can't be with this woman and you out visiting another woman, it's just, and using her past is like, to go to the Dominican Republic is a red flag, immediate red flag, when he's using your benefits and not taking you. Like, if he using his own benefits, then you can be like, man, that's you can do what you want to do. But then you asking to borrow money, and that's not coinciding with the fact that you needing to have money. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you going on these trips, and you, in her messages, telling her how you need the money for this, money for that, and she's trying to get fertility, and she wants to have a baby. And the fact that your sister is saying, oh, you trying to trap him, the fact that she even knows all this is diabolical too. Because why are you going to tell your sister about another woman? And your sister, who's not a girl's girl, should have said, don't you shouldn't play with a woman infertility. Like, if you don't plan on being with that woman, I don't think leading her on to have a baby, spending all this money on fertility treatments is the right move. And the sister should have said something about like that. So it said something about that because, at the end of the day, that's a little overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, to play somebody that bad. Like, I mean, people get played all the time, and when you do stuff like that, man, it's just low down and dirty, man. It's low down and dirty, But hey, all I can say is just, pray that karma don't come back and see you in a real way. Anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this crazy situation. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as early as 1 week.